I understand because, bro, think about this. How many times have you read articles or seen stuff on social media that these pastors is taking advantage of women in the church,
Yeah.
or I'm just gonna say women of the church. It's other
They touching
because
boys too.
they touching
Oh,
boys, they
Catholic
touching
churches.
women, but also, like I said, that go back to what I said earlier. You need to find you a good leader,
Mm-hmm.
because most of these pastors is a I hate to say it like this, but pastors is the biggest hustlers around. I'm not trying to put every pastors
Yeah.
in that category,
Yeah.
but that's why I'm keep going back to once you find you a good leader of the
Mm-hmm.
church, a good pastor. But think about it. Some of these pastors living their best life. Some of these
Mm-hmm.
pastors not only living their best life, but like I said, reading articles that this pastor is having sex with all the women or most of the women in the church,
Mm-hmm.
having them doing some crazy sexual activities, and he telling them, if you do this to me, you my bleep 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 will give you closer to God. Boy, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to say it like that, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's pastors out there that be messing around with all these women in the church.
Yeah. They
And
do that. Then you have these pastors who, it's sad that I gotta say this, but I'm gonna say it. But you have these pastors who, you got members who's walking the church and you driving a Maserati, and everybody's praising, clapping their hands, for what
right,
God blessed you with. But yet, you know, they're living, you know, in a messed up way, right?
right.
Um, and I remember I used to defend that, right? Excuse me. I used to defend that. I used to say, you know, pastors have a right to live however they want to live, because at the end of the day, they're raising the churches. The church got 20,000 people in there, and all of them give $1. Then he should have $15,000 for the week, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But now as an adult, it becomes, I don't. I still don't blame it, but as an adult, it becomes, yeah. But is it wise to actually do that, right? Um, I'm kind of versed on scriptures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Paul did say, if you don't know who Paul is a major writer in the New Testament.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that if a farmer plants, and I'm just going to say verbatim, if a farmer plants uh, apple trees, right, a whole forest of apple trees, is he entitled to 10 apples? Absolutely, because he's the one who planted those seeds, right?
Right.
And likewise, yes, the pastor should get something in return.
Right.
But my thing is this pastor is going to, even though he planted a forest of trees, is he going to take half the forest because he planted it? You see what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of these pastors are not using wisdom. Um, you will, in a way, if your finances can afford it, it's fine. But majority of your people are broke. You come
Mm-hmm.
in with $100,000 car. That's not wise. That's not wise to me, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, some of these churches, like you said, got like 20, 30,000 members.
Yeah, easy.
But some of these churches or pastors at these churches, I think they make these churches more commercialized nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's not about always saving souls
Mm-hmm.
and not always trying to bring more people in to save them. It's more about bringing more people in for more money. Nowadays, they got ATMs in stores. Some of these churches, these mega churches, you got to have credit applications to even attend these churches.
Are you serious?
Yep. You gotta.
Wow.
They know
Wow.
your credit score. They got your check stubs. They got W-2s. They got like you think like I said, I don't want to quote it wrong, but from what I read and seen and like churches, I'm not saying like TD Jakes or Joel, what's his name, Joel
Joe
Myers,
Osteen.
Osteen and stuff, but from the streets, he say or she say that you got to have a certain amount of credit to be attending these 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 services live in person.
That's crazy.
Because yeah, that's why I say like the church. I I understand what you're saying when they say kind of stepping away from churches. But also, say if you could find you a good, genuine church and a good leader, you need a good spiritual leader just in case it gonna be some stuff that you're dealing with, and you need someone that could potentially guide you through your issue, your trials or tribulation, and they could be a resource for you.
So speaking of resources, how can the church, right? How can the church be a good resource to their people? So let's just say, for example, okay, let's just say I'm a pastor, right? And I know that God have given me the ability to lead a church, right? He called me to lead a church, and I'm doing just that, right? A lot